Hey YouTube, this is episode 45 of YeahThePodcast. Today the show is Doug Easy.
What's up?
And the life of the comedian. So basically I'm JP the creator and this has been an awesome news one. So Doug Easy, you from Alabama.
Yes, roll tide.
And you how did you become a comedian?
I became a stand-up comedian once I moved to San Antonio.
Okay.
Yes, moved to San Antonio 2015, 16, in between.
Okay.
Went to my first comedy club, which was the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club. I stepped up on that little small stage to do an open mic, and I ran my mouth, you know.
And that's when they had like amateur night, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what amateur night. And my first time being inside of a club, I thought everybody was actually comedians. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I'm around comedians now. You know, not myself. I only got stuff on paper and the stuff that I used to write back home. You know, and I tried to transition that. My first joke was, I went through a divorce, and I used that first joke for going through my divorce up on stage, and it was a good hit. It was a good role. You know, and everything else after that, it was just you make it up on the spot. When I said make it up on the spot, yes, I know the direction that I'm going in, but I need to make sure that it's all going to make sense once I put it together.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So was it kind of like you had one joke and you just went off the dome after that?
Well, I won't say once again off the dome. I'm really not good at that. Now we're just holding a natural conversation right now, and we're just talking about something. Yes, you know, but I couldn't use any of that material and turn right back around and use that as a stage material unless I sit down and really consume what we just got through talking about. Right. And really structure it to put together, because just because we're talking and you come up with something real good, it could just be funny for that moment. You know, I'm not thinking about taking that idea. I'm not thinking about writing it down. You ain't thinking about keeping it. Just so happen it is, you know. Mm-hmm. And most people would say, oh, man, you funny. You should try something. You may get up there and try that same joke, and it won't hit for you. You know what I mean?
Right. You
get up there, thought it was funny with your buddies, and when you realize you get up on that stage, like, man, that joke wasn't funny as my buddies were leading on, you know, because it was a riff in stage. Now I had it as something that, you know what, I'm going to write this out, and I'm going to make it work for me. And you get up there, you do written instead of trying to remember what y'all were talking about and using your buddy in it, using everything y'all just got through doing. I think the joke can hit better, but it's not going to hit if y'all just...
What you mean by riff?
Riffing. Like, you and I can just be sitting there talking about this Dr. Pepper can, right? All right? You may say something funny about that Dr. Pepper can. He may bounce off of what you just got through saying, make it even more funnier, but it's still related to what you just got through saying. Mm-hmm. All right? Then I may come in and pitch something about the Dr. Pepper can. Now we might say, who the comedian over here? You might say, well, Doug, you the comedian. Now, me, I might get up there and just try to say the same thing y'all said in verbatim, but it's not going to work for me because I'm trying to remember what you said, but it was funny the way you said it, the way you delivered it. So now you get me up here. I'm trying to, yeah, you know, Dr. Pepper can brown. right then. Now I'm trying to get y'all. They're like, man, he messed that joke up. That ain't what we were talking about. You know, now the conversation seemed like it was flat, you know, because we just thought that worked on the spot instead of sitting down, coming up with the idea and the concept. Like us doing this podcast right now, you know, that's a concept. So they give us an idea of what we need to talk about. You know, just so this is a podcast, talk about everything. Oh, look at that paint on the wall.
Some people do that.
They do.
And some, I don't know if y'all heard of Michael Bisping.
Bisping,
the old UFC fighter. He, I was watching his podcast or whatever, and he had got hit in New Orleans, and he was talking about that. But it seems like he finds things to talk about.
Yes.
And as far as Jarnell is concerned, like whenever we started this in the beginning, in the first place, he found a post. Mm-hmm. He said, "Who wants to do a podcast on this?" I said, "I will do a podcast. I got a lot to say about that." And here we are today. Right. And he finds all the content and the people, and I'm like, "Come on,
exactly.
come on."
Exactly. And I believe that's what brings and creates the good content. You know what I mean? You find people that's really a lot of podcasts I see, man. They can talk about anything and it works. You know, and when I say anything, it's anything. If that's what you can do. That's what you can do. But most people ain't caught up with that time, or not even past that time just yet. You know,
Right.
a lot of comics that people throw their names. I'm like, man, I don't know them guys, man. You know, I don't know what to follow them at because that's taken away from me. You
Right.
know, I know the people who I have in front of me, but if you're talking about people on my same level, no, I don't know them right now. But if you could put me in my respective positions to meet these people, then yeah, that could be different. You know, I see a lot of good comics now that can sell out that Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club. You know I ain't never seen them on TV. You know, I just know they're just regular comics and they do their thing. You have a marquee comic coming in, like you have D.L. Hughley. He's coming in to the Laugh Out Loud this weekend. You know,
Okay.
now he's been in the game for years already. You know, you figure at those guys' ladder and peak of their career, they shouldn't have to come back in into a comedy club to drain money that y'all have already earned and made. You could be investing in the comedy club. Where's D.L. Hughley's comedy club? So he can find someone like me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can see someone like me instead of coming to a spot where, you know, we got to pay you out. And I get it. They say, man, I'm still fine. I ain't out there. But you are D.L. Hughley. There's no way I'm not going to like you. It ain't no way. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Steve Harvey. But if I see that, man, there's no way I'm not going to like this man right here.
Right.
But guess what? If he see me, you think he going to know who I am? You think if I told him I was a comic, you think he'd take that time to embrace me as a comedian? No. No, because I'm like, nah, man, I just made $40,000. I ain't talking no open micer. That's what I am. Unless what? You know, send me a video. Give me something. Wow. Why don't you take time out to come to one of these shows and open up your own comedy club and let me come there. You sit around. You know what I mean? Don't be the guy to take on. Y'all got millions.
Kind of like Booker T, how he has his own wrestling venue now.
Mm-hmm.
And he has his own wrestling school. He brings these, how do you say it, like Reggie Lincoln, the one you saw the show I did with Reggie, or shout out to Reggie. But he does his little, he's like a individual contract, like independent contractor.
Yes.
He goes all these different places and wrestles and all that.
Yeah.
And you don't really see him. And then when you run to these big time names,
Yes.
well, Booker T's a big time name, so he opened up his own school. And he's
Right.
like, now I got you here, so you can get him on a bigger stage.
There you go.
So it's like, I see what you're saying. I see that drive you had to, like, I wanted to help people actually get on a bigger stage.
Yes, get on that stage. You know, we do so much as the entertainers. You know, so much. And if you make it to a point to where you can stop, because I don't know what being humble is when it comes down to grinding. Okay? Because when you're starting off, you're crawling and weak, and not too many people patting you on the back. Nobody giving you your credit for what you do. Nobody looking your way. Nobody throw you a bone. Nobody throw you anything. And you begin to get stronger after that. Stronger. Now, all of a sudden, one day, you don't need nobody help. You're aggressive in how you carry yourself. You know, you don't let no one disrespect you. Now, all of a sudden, you ain't humble in your craft. Now, all of a sudden, because you ain't taking nobody BS, you know what I mean? Like, what was the help 2-3 years ago? You know, what was your advice? What was your hand or your input then?
What I always say, if I got two people and one person, I ask the person, you come at 6, and they automatically say yeah. You got a person that say, I can't come at 6 because I got an appointment. I make them come at 8 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I want that person there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person, other people want her.
Right.
Other people want her.
Right.
And people are more likely to help to go with somebody like that than somebody that, yeah, I can be there.
That
So that automatically means you ain't got nobody else sometimes.
right.
You know, and I'm not talking about how, like, we ask you to do the show and you're like, yeah, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about sometimes it's best for somebody to be doing something else because, you know, you got any, because you got some shows coming up, right?
Yes, and when I book shows, I try to book based off of I go out and I watch all the artists that I try to book.
Okay.
You know, I'm not booking nobody just because somebody said so. Because I understand that if somebody easily saying that person can come to your show, then that person's going to easily say that I can be booked for somebody else's show. You understand where I'm coming from? So it goes to, okay, then let me hear you out. That's why I go to the open mics. I catch them and I watch these open micers and all these people who come out of town. Some people come in with just regular favoritism. Some people you watch them and you see them, you there. And so when you get ready to book them, I'm like, okay then, all right. You're not ready for the big stage yet. You think you are, but you're not. You say, well, why you think you ready for the big stage? And because I got all of the artwork down pat. I know how to be greetable, approachable. I know how to deal with directly with the people. And you see these people with these vulgar comedy skits at times. You're like, okay, then they're not going to get booked nowhere. So at Tequila's, what I don't mind doing is giving someone an opportunity, but I'm going to put them right within their strengths. Now, if they get together and they forget that this ain't an open mic, as soon as they get there, they act like they're back at an open mic sometimes, you know? I'm just saying this out because I need y'all to learn this, okay? Tequila's is not an open mic joint. It is a showcase spot, and we want people to be professional there so they can go somewhere. Now, that person will need Tequila to go. But you're right. If don't nobody else ask y'all to be professional, to be prepared for these big stages, then when I see y'all on the big stage, I already know that you're cheating the game. You got on because somebody underbidded you and you underbidded yourself and you just wanted to be, yeah, he's saying that Tequila's, or well, he's saying, look, I'm on the stage, but you're up there prematurely. All right, stop acting like you're up there because you really earned that spot to get there. All right, let somebody mention my name. I'll be real honest. I'm tough to deal with on a good lineup. Very tough, you know, and I respect every art, every comedian. I respect all of them, you know, but it depends on who I'm with. If somebody's up there and they're real funny, oh, you just made me great, you know, because if I laugh hard, I can't do no jokes because I got out of comedy what comedy is supposed to give. All right, so if I'm on a show and you up before me and you smashing it and I'm back there dying laughing because I be laughing ridiculous. All right, I knock stuff over, eat chicken, I do the whole nine. And I'm so absorbed with what you just got through doing. I'm like, wow, there's no way I can follow that, you know? So with me telling myself that, now I want to be in competition. Because, man, you just made me feel good, man. I want to go back out there and do that same thing. And I hope it works. So if someone in front of me and they're real, real good, sometimes I get weak, other time it work out for me. I can power up, you know? But,
so we was at one of your shows, and we had one of the guys that was on the podcast, Eric Townsend.
yes.
And at the show. And I met Eric, the first time I met Eric, we were playing football together. And he improved a whole lot.
Yes.
He improved a whole lot. He real dedicated to his craft.
Yes.
Because he'd tell us, man, hey, if y'all ain't going to have practice tonight, I can go to the comedy club. I didn't even know.
And that was down here in San Antonio, right?
Yeah, that's when he was living in San
Yeah,
Antonio. And then he moved,
Yeah.
to Houston. But, man, he was at a comedy show every week.
Right.
Every week, man. He was at a comedy show.
Eric has one of those. I try to teach him to smile.
Yeah.
Live in the moment of that joke.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't have facial structure or facial, you know, and it doesn't. For me, it don't make the joke sit well. But then you can have that mind face. You know what I mean? Everything works. It can work for you, okay? A mind can be sad and you know what he's talking about. But if you're not expressing that with what you're trying to get out there, it's kind of like, you're just doing it for nothing. You know what I mean? Let's see, Eric been knowing Eric now, a little over 4 years now. And I remember him being green. All right, and I saw him up on that stage. I put him out and I said, man, what was that? I used to have this thing back in the day where I just tell me that was trash. You know what I mean? That was trash. They're like, what you mean? Like, bro, that was horrible. You mean to tell me you wrote that? You know? You wrote that and you didn't practice it. Well, you know, I'm like, man, that was horrible. They see that as a threat at first. But growing up in the days of, you was talking about Apollo, when booze and throw. You remember that?
Throw trash and.
How you think all those professional comics that you have now, strong black comedians, how you think they made it? All right? They made it because somebody told them that, nah, that's just trash. You better come back and do better. You know what I mean? You better be right. You can go out there and rub that log all you want. But that talent and that critique, you don't have that in the comedy scene anymore. So if you boo somebody now, they think that that's not part of the game. You insulted their intelligence.
But see, man, Eric told us that he was going to be a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, he wasn't funny.
Right.
But he kept on going. I said, okay. And then he came here, and I was like, okay, let me see. And he did a little skit. I'm like, this dude's funny.
Yeah.
And what made him funny is he got, like what you were saying, he had all the facial expression and everything. And he didn't have that at first. And then when I seen him at what's the name of the club?
Tequilas.
And when I see him at Tequilas, I was like, wow. Like he came into it because he was there with other comedians.
Right.
And it was just like, Alvin and Perry been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just like, you feel like he was on the same stage as people have been doing it for a while.
Right.
And then you was the host and you was funny. But what I respect about you, you was just the host.
Yes.
And you did everybody else just do their thing.
And I really didn't want to do that, but it was just a show that was set up. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather just set it up. 'Cause I know me, man. I enjoy doing what I do too, you know. And sometimes I can get out there and I can be remarkable, you know. And the other nights I can get out there and I can probably just be average. But I'm going to be me. I'm going to be that 100% worker every time. I'm not going to cheat myself if I'm going to get on that stage. If I'm going up there to cheat myself, I won't get on the stage at all. All right? So as far as Eric started off very just nonchalant coming. You know, we have our days where we're on, we have our days where we're off. And Eric is at one of those stages where he yet still fading in, but I think he's more mature now, you know, because now he's promoting, now he's getting booked for shows, you know. People are putting him on things, and he want to make sure that that work is paying off for him. You know, we talk every day about, you know, how we're going to run a business or how we're going to put together shows, him and I, we run shows in Houston right now. And that guy doing pretty good, you know. And I wish I could just travel to Houston back and forth like I really want to, because, man, those guys they're rolling up there. San Antonio is very small. You know, when I say very small, you got the Company Club, you got a new one just opened up, Bobby just opened up his new club, and everything else is just bars, you know, in and out bars. So it's kind of like that structure ain't there. So you go to Austin. Austin just a slew of comics up there. And anybody can be a comic. Somebody just walk up and, oh, this is my first time doing it. Oh, getting a whole bunch of praise. Somebody been doing it for 10 years or 5 years or 7 months. Get overlooked because of Joe Jane that came up here and said something.
Said something funny at that moment.
At that moment.
Oh, my booty.
But you don't have no structure.
Yeah,
so now
yeah.
you put Joe Jane on the show. Now Joe Jane get up there on the show and fuck the show up. You stink the show all the way up. Not only do you stink the show up, but you don't know cadence of light. You don't know when to look for a light. You know what I mean? You don't know what. You don't know when not to talk to the audience because you're there to be the comedian.
Explain all that.
What now?
Explain all that you saying.
Okay, as a booker for myself.
Okay.
If I'm gonna host the show, my job is to host the entirety of the show.
Okay.
That's the MCing from when everybody's coming in. Let's say I'm not good at MCing. Let's say it's my first time. When I'm getting the show started, we got 30 minutes before the show gets started. My job is to hype myself up on that mic. Try to stick with key words that I know I can MC myself up to a certain point. Hey, thank y'all for coming out tonight. Hey, y'all book it. Hey, I'm Duckies. We having a good time tonight. Something that sounds more uplifting. Okay? And when you're up there hosting, my job isn't to talk about any of the other comics. My job is to get that crowd set up to where every other comic, regardless of what their style of comedy may be, is going to fit. Because I know that Chad probably got some dick jokes and that's the only thing he got. But I got him on the lineup for a certain reason. And if he come up there and do his job, after he see that the host has allowed for the audience to be comfortable, if he do his job without slipping, nobody never know that Joe Chad had the worst horriblest dick jokes ever. You know, but if he get up there and want talk to the crowd after you clearly just saw the host set it up for you. Now you're going to mismanage the show. Now it's like, yeah, you done took the crowd right back to where they're ready to walk out now. You know, so when a comic comes up and he's on the show, most people will ask me, hey, man, I don't need you to do no crowd work. That's when you know people don't have jokes. Because it's like, all right, I'm just going to go with the crowd. Yes, it may be somebody at a show that day that got on a big yellow dress. You mean to tell me that was in your portfolio when I booked you 3 weeks ago? You mean to tell me you knew that was going to be it? Most gonna give you the excuse, well, you know, that was the moment and I needed that too. Well, what about your jokes? Because you missed your joke telling that joke right there, you know? And now you got the audience, sometimes they laugh over premature jokes. And
so basically what you're saying, when they're clowning somebody in the crowd, that's crowd work.
yes.
And when they shouldn't, when you just did that already.
Yes.
So they need to go off their jokes, not.
Now, I see a lot of them do it. Once they hit that crowd work, and now you say, okay, now you tell a joke. Now all of a sudden, they don't know what joke they need to tell. There's no structure to it. They jokes change. They're like, okay, so that's the joke they wrote. So we prematurely laughed at this person up front here. Now we're waiting on the joke. Now when you hear real good, clean jokes, you don't understand what a joke is because you think that a joke just will be some bullshit unless you're at a real comedy club. You know what I mean?
Okay, go ahead.
No, you good.
Let me ask you this. I used to listen to the Foxhole. I used to have Serious Radio. All right. So then, so I'm listening to all these different comics that's on the Foxhole. And then I started listening to them, when they ain't on the Foxhole, when they do their shows.
Yes.
I think it was King, which one that came to San Antonio? Not King of Comedy, but when they had D.L. Hughes and George Lopez, they had one of them groups.
In San Antonio?
In San Antonio.
Yes.
So they was at the SDC Center. And I noticed they were saying the same jokes they were saying when they was on the Foxhole.
Yes.
Why do comedians do that?
I think, for myself personally, let me start there first before I critique anything else.
Okay.
When I first started off, I wrote joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. Every day I had something new when I came to the comedy club.
Okay.
Every day. But everyone else, they stuck with their same jokes for so long. After 3 to 4 years, I started having that same question. Why are y'all saying the same jokes? Why y'all saying the same? You've been saying this for the past 4 years I don't work with you. How is this still? Some comics, they lose their interest in the joke. They've been saying it so long. Other comics never write out past that joke because it works for them. I would say people continue to write now to grow jokes. Once I heard that, I understood, damn, wait a minute. I do have a 4-minute set that I can connect with this to lengthen it out. Because now you have to have a story or some sort of dialogue. But as a true comic, you still have to have your 30-second punchlines. All right? You still have to have a joke. Can't sit up there and monologue and talk all day like a Dave Chappelle can do. Because Dave Chappelle can get up there. Right now, his status quo, he just talked to us. And it'll clearly say comedy show. He'll give us one joke. And just because it's him, we'll say, wow, that's what comedy is now. Like Dave Chappelle, then you grow up with those guys and you see the Eddie Murphys and feel how you saw how they was in the trenches, how they really had jokes. You didn't see them really just eat up off a crowd for real. They was out there working the stage, especially back in that time when racism was almost there. How they had to tell jokes in front of white clubs and stuff of that nature. They didn't budge from it, But at the same time, they still had, I would say, written material, that for them transition over to movies. Those are those type of jokes. So when I come down to see people writing every day, I know come use the same jokes after 6 years now. And I'm like, wow, you just don't write anymore. It's just nothing in you and they'll tell you the excuse is, well, you just got to stick with that joke until it hits out. No, if I do a joke, a real good joke in the show, I try to leave that away from the open mic. And now that I'm at an open mic, I try something that's different so you can add that and stretch out the joke again. So you may need to come back to it. A lot of these old head coming, like Bruce, I'm pretty sure he got some material that he used to use 15 years ago that he's using right now. That's his material. I don't think you should forget it. And most artists, man, when they like you telling a certain joke, they want to hear that certain joke from you, especially if you have returning members. People who like to come and see you. I'm yet still trying to build my fan base up by not being from here. So I think we was talking about earlier being on the black side and the Hispanic side. I don't know anybody like that just to group up. I can go back home to Alabama right now, in my little city, Tallahassee, Alabama right now, and throw a show at a restaurant, and everybody in the city gonna come right now, saying that I'm here. But up here, no man, I'm everywhere. I go to business. You ever been to Business Bar?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Yeah. That's like the only blackest spot that I done really seen. But to go in there, man, I'm like, wow, I'm known once I get in there. I feel like
the one that got the
Billy
got the
Broadway.
Yeah, for Broadway.
I've been there.
They got the swings at the bar.
Yes,
I've been there.
Bro.
Yep. I go to that spot, man, and that spot there is so live and local where I'm like, wow, I like the black energy in here. The Hispanic energy in there too. But it's predominantly, blacks, and it's us. I'm like, wow, like nice looking people here, and I can fit in with this, not just them comedy scene. I fit in anywhere. And I go around with some of my other comedy buddies and go to those same places and they don't even fit in, you know? They like, nah, we need to go back to our little comedy holes. That's what we need to be. No, be around people. So I can understand what it is you need to write about.
What right across from Rebar, Texas bar right there. I went over there, celebrated my birthday out there a couple times.
Yeah, they got a hard mic over there on Thursday. I mean, tough ones. You know what I mean? You know, it's not easy just to get up there and be funny if you don't mean it.
You know what, man? One thing I was listening to Bruce, and I think it was on Fox. He was talking about losing his mom.
Uh-huh.
And he was basically saying how he spent so much time with his mom, and then his mom passed, and he didn't feel bad about it.
Uh-huh.
I remember that probably more than any of his jokes.
Yes.
When do you think you use something like that in your comedy? Because that made him real to me.
No problem.
That made him real to me.
Yes.
So, like, I never want to see Bruce in the big area.
Right.
I want to see him like comedy,
Yes.
like the laugh out loud.
Yes.
Because that just hit me.
Right.
And it was somebody else. I think it was I can't think of that dude's name. He does he's from Alabama, no shit. He does where you come in and when you call people and you
What's his name?
Crank Angers.
Tommy? Nephew Tommy?
Woods. Is that his last name? Woods.
I've heard Nephew Tommy before.
Yeah.
I heard it, but that Nephew Tommy. Roy Woods Jr. Yeah.
From Alabama.
I think he's from Alabama. He have a radio show.
Well, I want to look him up after.
Yeah, Roy Woods Jr. Yeah. And basically he did like prank calls.
Yes.
And so I seen him, and I just heard him from Foxhole and just listened to his stuff, and me and my mom used to listen to it before she passed away. And I seen him, and he had an African dude, like in blue way, something like that. And I just seen him. So I never want to take pictures with people and then call something.
Uh-huh.
That don't mean shit.
Right.
So I seen him walk. I said, "Hey, Dr. Zoomway." He said, and then he said something. I forgot what he said. I'll never forget that, man, because it was just like he respected. He like, okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And like you say, he don't have a huge song, but that was cool because he like knew that I listened to his stuff.
Yes.
And he gave a comment related to one of his characters.
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
Yes.
You know, so like that, and what Bruce said in his comedy on Fox, so I always remember that.
Yes.
So that made him people to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you get that personal into your life, I think that's the most valuable asset, actually, of using your comedy skills, you know, because you do need stuff that's relatable, all right? You do need all the tangibles around you to help you mature into that. Me, when I first started, I thought it was all about writing jokes, you know, that my wife, she would tell me, she's like, hey, why don't you write something about us, write about me? And she funny, I'm for real, you know what I mean? But she got stuff, I'm like, if I tell these jokes and they're about her, you know what I mean? It's some stuff there, you know, it's really some stuff there, it really is. But I haven't got to a point where I'm ready to use that yet. Now, maybe next year, after I mature just a little bit more and I can get off of the little BS little jokes I do, I have material to cut that I can use per my family that's pertaining to everything within my family. But I have not stepped into that yet.
So not your home life just yet.
Not just yet. You know, I don't feel like I'm there yet.
Right, you gonna stay married after?
Come again? Yeah. She's funny, man. She say some stuff and be so funny. She throw me these ideas. I'm over there like, this is so funny. You know, her side of the family, hilarious. You know, I got those characters down pat. But when I'm ready to initiate those, I need them to be in a perspective place. I really do. You know, to go do them at an open mic around some of these guys, man, they'll take your stuff. You know, you hear people say, man, don't use that here, man. You just need to riff. That need to be an improv. This needs to be, and it's correct. They need to be in their perspective places. But when you think that they should be in their perspective places, you don't get that recognition because I can stand at the LOL or a good comedy club and say those jokes. Hey, well, you know, maybe we'll call you back. So y'all gonna take that little good energy like that, you know, and just say, maybe we'll call you back. Then Joe Sam will get up there. Yeah, man, you know how it is. Y'all know, you know, right? Man, come on now, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. My owner said, right? My next thing you know, Joe Sam on the next show next week. Hey, Joe Sam, how you get on that show? And they paid you top dollar, so now you thinking about money. You know, like they paid you top dollar, and you think a comedy club. Oh yeah, you get big money there. I don't believe it. I think you're getting offered the same money as someone who has a regular bar venue, someone who has a regular restaurant. You know, the comedy clubs, I get it. Unless you're the marquee act. I don't think you're getting anything for that little bit of 50, 60 bucks, maybe 100, if that's the case. Because if the stories are true about these old artists and they said they lived in their car, had to bomb this, that, how did the money change? You know, I believe it changed. These still the same comedy clubs that exist right now. How does the money change? All right, the money change and all about your professionalism. And I haven't made it to that stage of the LOL or the big ones yet. But I've been everywhere else. I've met my matches.
I've seen the worst thing I ever think a host should do to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I was at one of the, the improv, and some of them are hilarious and some of them not. It was a white dude, I forget his name, and he was rocking it. And instead of, I guess they had a little thing to say, hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then he didn't listen to it. And instead of saying, shut the fuck up, or, I guess he didn't listen to it again, the host just kind of cut him off.
Yeah.
And you could tell the dude, it was like a young dude, maybe in his 20s, he was just like, fuck it.
You cut the mic off?
No, they didn't cut the mic off, but they kind of told him, hey, get off stage.
Right.
And he was rocking it.
Right.
But
did he go over his time or something, maybe?
he went over his time, you could tell, because they were trying to tell him, like whatever, hey. But they should have told him, hey, man, you got to wrap it up and you got a minute.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would have did that before, but they can kind of tell him, hey, man, get off stage kind of.
Right.
And it was just, it made you, because, a lot of times when people starting out, they just not funny.
Right.
And so one dude, I don't like when people talk about me. You know what I mean? Because this one dude, he was talking about my shirt.
Yeah.
A black shirt. I'm like, well, look at your ragged ass feet. I got ragged ass feet. So I'm not going to just, look at my ragged ass feet. You know what I mean? I'm not going to wear,
right.
I wear socks.
Right.
With sandals and shit. I'm not going to let nobody see my ragged ass feet. I got some ugly ass feet.
I'll follow.
They grew chest.
Right.
So, so he had these broke ass feet. He talking about my black shirt. I said, can't nobody see my black ass. Is that what you going to say? Okay, I know you going to say that shit. So, I'm looking at his feet like, man, you got some old grotesque, eagle eye looking feet.
Right.
So I didn't say nothing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm like, dude, this dude wasn't really funny. But
right.
He said the same thing over and over.
They're creating hecklers.
Yeah.
Right. That's what
and I don't think when you starting out, you need to do what DL
no.
do.
No.
And I think if you sit in the back, I think they shouldn't even talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit in the front, I think they should have something that say you can clown like.
Well, they ask the audience member first. Don't help the comedians. All right, we get that part.
Right.
Our job is to sit back, not say nothing to you because we believe as an audience member that you got a routine that we need to sit back and listen to.
Right.
Now, when you first come out there and you say, hey, how you doing? You married? You're opening up dialogue for this couple to talk to you for the rest of the night. Mm. You're creating a heckler. So if I start joking on your black shirt and you see his shoes up there, and now you're talking through his set because he initiated you to talk. Now he's telling you to shut up. All right, I got a set that I need to do. I didn't ask you to come my way. Now I can't talk. Now you look like the bad audience member now when you thought that you was a part of the act.
I didn't say that.
Right. Now had you did, most comics on the scene, they know not to joke on me. I'm like, nah, don't joke on me because I don't use your name on the stage when I go up there. I do my job, you do yours. And they call my name on the stage, I talk through their set. I talk through it because my job is to sit there and listen. If you're going to talk to me like this, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to talk through yours because I'm not going to let you rip off me and that was a joke, But sometimes you can create your own hecklers when the audience member shouldn't. And then you just have some audience members just be drunk sometimes and they want to talk. And now you got those same people who are good at heckling don't know how to handle it. Now it's a difference now. Now the audience member is intimidating.
So you're a host, right?
At times.
How do you tell old boy to get on?
I had to pull a guy off my stage.
Because I thought it was.
Isn't there like a light or something?
It's a light, but you dealing with people that first start doing that.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
and he was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting into like the peak of his show thing. And because when you go to LOL, the improv with people getting on it, these are people that are brave enough to actually do it.
Right.
Okay. And he was kind of funny. And they have so many damn people on the show. They have like 10 people.
It'd be a lot.
And it'd be a lot. You'd be like, and you'd be like, shit, let's go. Because it's too much.
Right.
It's too much. And and then you get the ones that are real funny. And then he was kind of funny. And it just like the host wasn't funny.
Uh-huh.
And then it was just like they needed to find a way to tell him, hey man, let's roll.
But you shouldn't. We do 4-minute open mics in search spots.
Yeah.
Then they may raise it up, give you 5. Okay. Right. You know the light. All right. You got a minute light. You got a 2-minute light. All right. Once you're looking around for, you should automatically know your time. That's what come on when you have structured material opposed to offset material. You could have your material last for 5 minutes, but you get offset with an audience number. So now you try to come back and you see the light and try to use your last little jokes that you should have used within your 5-minute time span. And each person, professional or not, they know what a light is. They know when someone comes up and shine a light. How much time did I do? Okay, look at your phone, whatever you recorded yourself on, and understand where that joke stopped at. So now when you go to a show, you're a host or the person who's initiating, they're going to say, okay, you're going to see the light right here. Now, I'm coming in front of you the first time. Mm-hmm. Now, you have a minute left. Now, you should have an understanding that a minute, whether it's just one more joke and a tag. Not know, well, let me tell you how this long story. Now, you got 3 minutes. You done went over with a long story instead of wrapping it up. Wrapping it on up, just giving your tag, man, thank y'all for coming out. I've been such and such. Y'all follow me here. Good night. But I had to pull a guy down because they saw the light 3 times, but they said they didn't see the light. But in any professionalism, shouldn't you say, wait a minute, I should be looking for the light. I've been up here long enough. All right?
So is this light, is it a light in the back or is it like
it could be a phone. It depends on how the venue is set up.
Okay.
Some venues you have a blue light up in the corner. Others you have your phone. Some you probably have the light right in front of you. Others you probably just have to look in the corner. It depends on the venue. Sometimes the whole stage may illuminate for you. Sometimes you may hear the music come up. That could be your cue. Whatever little cue you get, the hostess or they should tell you where the light is coming from. So shouldn't nobody run a light or overlook a light if the material is set up for those. If I get a spot for 20 minutes, I need 20 minutes of material. I need that right off the bat. And if I don't have 20 minutes of material, let's say I got 15. Now I either got to try to initiate 5 minutes of just talking, or I cut myself off right there because I don't want to, ruin myself as a good comedian just because at the end I mess up a perfectly good set just by riffing with an audience member for no particular reason. Now you don't like me no more because I went in on you for no reason. Like, man, that man won't bother nobody. So that man, it's tough. But I had to pull that one guy down because he came in and see the light. And my host at that time, I saw him flash the light, but he didn't do his job initially to come out and like, hey, here it is right here. Because we got our venue just right here, right in the front. So it's easy to see that. And we have a light that's shining directly in your eyes, but you should already be aware of that because you need that actually so you won't be intimidated by the audience. For me, the brighter the light is in my eyes, I won't be so intimidated by that 1 or 2 people who may not be laughing at my jokes. I don't really see them like that. You want to see your audience member, but some of them looking at you like that. Some of them making it like, ugh, that ain't even. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see all them looks. You want to embrace it. But you don't want to see all them looks. And most people get up, man, these lights are bright, and this and that. Man, ain't no lights too bright. Get up there and do your set, move on out the way. That's it.
So there's a lot more to us just laughing than what we see, a lot more behind the scenes. I never knew it took all that.
It take a lot. It really take a lot. And the biggest part of it is consistently be right. That's it. Until you get everything together. I got 3 notepads, 6, 7, 8 maybe. That I have all of my jokes separated to broken down material, to solid material. Then I just have my new open mic books. And I have all those other jokes that I wrote 4 or 5 years ago. That I go back every now and again and pull out. Because sometimes I can forget one. You know, I did a joke 4 years ago, man, and I pulled it up and looked at it and said, man, I remember that joke. But couldn't remember what I pulled from it because I didn't write it all the way out in its entirety, you know. But once I went back and figured out what that joke was, I was able to plug everything in. So I do have a notepad with different jokes that I can just grow if they need to. But I need to find other stuff that fit with it. In today's time, you don't have to talk about too much, really, but dicks.
One guy, man, at the Improv, man, at one at Crossroads, right? He was talking about a whole bunch of crazy shit. He was talking about hemorrhoids. The dude was talking about like, cause he had long hair and shit. He was talking about how he go out with girls and think he gay. I'm like, that's too much, bro.
Did it work?
No, it was too graphic, bro.
Yeah.
Cause he was talking about, yeah, you know, like sometimes get hemorrhoids. I think he was gay.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't come out and be gay.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, you gay, bro. Cause you got this long hair, and you just, you know, he was a little bit too feminine with it, and he wasn't like, oh yeah, I get these hoes, you know. It was just like, dude, you a little bit too feminine, bro.
Man,
you know?
sometimes it be.
And I'm not tripping about that. But he was too graphic.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It was one. Let me cut you off, but at Tequila's when we went to see Eric counseling there was one comedian in particular. He's from Austin. I don't remember the dude's name. I don't want to call him out.
Yes.
But he said something that was real, just out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very graphic, and it was kind of like a head tilt, like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you talking about?
You said
So-
Austin, that's weird.
Yeah, so when we approached Eric about it and said, what the hell was that?
Right.
He said that apparently he's a shock comic or something like that. So he has this, he tried to put this shock value into it. That killed his whole set.
Right.
Like, it killed it. 'Cause from there, I was like,
Right.
I don't want to hear none of that shit you got to say. Like, he just kind of like, what?
Right.
Get off stage.
and depends on the venue that you're in. Once again, at Tequila, we have to build our base based off of the artist. You know,
Right.
You're an artist. You say you're a comedian. I understand you've been on the scene 3, 4, 5 months. Okay, if I put you on a show, man, you bring 2 people. You know 2 people who like to listen to you and come. You know, in some instances, these people don't even know how to bring people. You know, but yet still they'll get on the show. You know, over at Tequila, we teach, man. You need to find out the value of your fan base. All right. So we got 10 people on the show, and they bring 2 people apiece. You got a nice show. Oh, you got 10 people on the show who claim that they are comics and people like them and they get booked, and you get there to the show and they ain't nothing but 6 people now. Like, man, I know how to book some people. Did y'all share the flyer? So I know I did. I know what I'm trying to reach out to. I know all the people that I done tagged. Okay, now, I don't want to be running up behind these same people who understand what I'm doing also. Because the only thing I promote on my page sometimes is just my content. Where I'm going to be at. And I don't want these people to get all wore out. And I'm like, y'all ain't, first of all, you ain't never been to one. There's a lot of y'all owe me $20. You know what I mean? There's a lot of y'all owe me an opportunity to come and see me perform. Before you sit back and say, well, we know you're going to the top. No, I want to see you there. I want to see you make a show. All right? Show me that support one time, then I can move forward. Then maybe you can teach or influence someone else next to you to come to the show.
What was good about that show, because I got to see Eric. I never seen Alvin perform.
Uh-huh.
And I know Alvin did a lot of shows. I never seen him perform. I thought he was funny.
Mm-hmm.
He has a different style, though. I do like his style.
Uh-huh.
Because it kind of fit who he is.
Right.
Like when he clowned that group, The rap group.
Yeah, rap group.
I thought that was cool.
yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Now, you know, to respectfully
I thought that was
speak,
cool.
to respectfully speak on that, man, we was talking about again.
Yeah.
You're talking about shock factor. You have what's in the moment, and you have what's coming. All right.
Yeah.
So we say, hey man, that person was funny. And what basis? You named it. Yeah, when they was ragging on this, or when they ragged on that, or when they ragged on this, when they ragged on that, or when they joked on this, or when they said that. But it probably was nothing pertaining to the talent or the chemistry of the whole deal. It was just in the moment type of deal. So I want to say this respectfully, you know, to go back and watch that same person 3 more times when you have the same concept.
But see, when he clowned people, the reason why I said that is because they performers. So you gotta have tough skin to be a performer.
Okay.
And I felt like I wouldn't remember that group if he didn't clown.
I follow.
You know what I mean? And I know he used to rap too. So it wasn't like he was clowning them to where like,
so
I ain't gonna buy this shit, you know, because he's clowning. So it was more like, I remembered that group.
Right.
Because he clowned.
Okay, so the rap group came out and they rap material that they had.
Yeah.
And you did not notice them at all
until
someone came up.
I noticed them. Like
they had good stuff.
We asked them to be on the podcast. Like I was gonna ask you what their group name was.
Yeah, ST, same dream, same team.
Okay, but see, I respect him when he clowned them.
Right.
Because it was like, I know he used to rap before. And so it was like, it just made sense. It's kind of like if you clown like LeBron James or a football player, they ain't gonna care.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, they like, whatever. You know, they used to that.
Right.
So I feel like if you're a rapper, you gotta have tough skin. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, to each his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because the rap group was up there and they was initiating their music and they didn't say anything about the comics at all. You know what I mean? Even though they could have ad-libbed, they could have freestyle. You know, they didn't bash the comics. You know what I mean? They didn't bash the venue. They went up there and performed their material. All right? Someone else, the critic, came in and said, hey, check it out, you know, because that was nice. So let me see how I can interject with everything in here. Let me go with everything. And if you notice, he actually hit everybody that was in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody got something. Then at the end, you said, wow, man, that guy was really funny. Why? Because he was able to joke on you and joke on you and joke on me and joke on the band and joke on everybody. Or did you hear a joke? Or did you hear what appeased you at that moment? Because you have premature laugh that you can drain the room. Somebody get there and rag on you all night. And everybody just, now when a real comic come up there, you ain't going to know the difference. Because they're going to have something. Now you're like, no, I don't want that. I want some old bullshit. You know what I mean? Just to ram on there right now. Give me some, just throw something out there. You said it. I remember the artist because of that person. Meaning that the artist didn't even come with good music.
They had good music though.
They had good music.
You trying to put me on blast?
No, I'm not trying to put you on blast. I'm trying to separate the minutia per the talent. You know what I mean? Now everybody was amateur, right? Now I haven't been in the game for a minute as a comedian.
Right.
Now, I don't know how long those guys been in as rap artists. That was like my first time or second time booking them for a show.
Right.
And I booked them not because they can come in and tell jokes, because I liked their music that I heard.
Right.
And I thought what they would bring to this comedy group, this stage right here, would help influence. So it probably did help influence.
Just like a little break.
Right. So it probably did help influence that particular comic that was on there.
Yeah.
But any other comic probably would let the artist live and let them have their shine and bend the comic. You know what I mean? So not taking away nothing from what nobody do, because each his own. Everybody's gonna like, you know, whoever they're gonna like, but you don't want to separate. You want to separate the talent from just the riff, because you get overlooked. You get rewarded for laziness. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that in all due respect. Most people get rewarded for laziness, and this is where we at right now.
So let me ask you if you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You got 5 minutes.
I got 2.
All right, let's go.
Well, what you need me to do?
Do what you do. You're a comedian.
All right, here we go. Let's find this minutia right here. Then. All right. I wrote something down myself, right?
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Growing up for me, you know what I'm saying, quite interesting, you know what I mean? My father, he was a strong man, you know, a provider. And my mother, she was a strong man too. Yeah. She was a provider also of all the ass who was around the household. And growing up around our household, my mother, she was the type of mother that she made us think about everything she had to say to us, everything. I remember one time I come in the house and said, Mama, I'm hungry. My mama said, if you go to bed right now, you won't be hungry. First of all, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm not sleeping, I'm hungry, all right? My mama looked at me and she said, I got 3 words for you. Make a sandwich. Now, my mama looked at me and she said, I got 5 words for you. Make a sandwich. I said, Mama, that ain't 5 words, that's 3. My mama looked at me and said, then don't make a sandwich. Said if you want to go to bed hungry, then don't make one, all right? My mother, she wasn't the type. She didn't read us no bedtime stories. My mama just told her to shut the fuck up and go to bed. The end. That's all you did, all right? And I commend other parents for telling their kids bedtime stories. You know what I mean? Fictional ones, like Humpty Dumpty, Mother Goose, lady who lived in a shoe she didn't have. She had so many kids she didn't know what to do. Stop fucking, right?
Right.
Stop fucking. Tie your shoestrings up, all right? Maybe that'll prevent any other soul from entering that shoe, all right? But I'm just saying, I commend other parents. Now, when my mother can read a bedtime story, that's when the NyQuil come out. 7 milliliters of NyQuil. Oh, you can catch an ass whooping, all right? So you can choose your own poison.
Which one you want?
Yeah, whichever one you want, all right? You're going to get knocked out. That's basically what I'm trying to say, all right? You will get knocked out. So, other than that, that's my minutia.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what's your next, when your next show?
Yes, we had one at our new Studio 55.
Okay.
I want to say it's 45, 54. Don't let me get it wrong. It's Studio 55. Okay, it's our new venue. We got Love's Pozos coming out from California. That's going to be this Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we have another introduction mic at Tequila's on Bandera Road. So we have 2 shows coming up this weekend. I have a football game I'm going to for my son on Saturday, so hopefully I can make it back to that one Saturday night.
Who your son play for?
I'm going to play for NLA.
NLA.
Yeah,
that's the next one.
Yeah, that's them right there, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was seeing that.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of him, all right? I'm proud of him. He out there getting hit, taking little licks.
What, were you a running back?
No, he on the line. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So he play O-line?
Left tackle, right tackle.
Okay.
He's still on his position. He growing into it. You
You a big
know?
one?
Yeah, he is. He's 7. He one of the most spoiled little kids. You know what I mean? Mama's baby, but daddy's baby too. You know.
Right.
He out there now. He don't understand that contact, but he get comfortable with it.
He get comfortable.
Yeah, he get comfortable with it. So I give him this year right here. Next year, he gonna want to do it for us. You look good in the past now. All right, that's right. Look good in the past.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, good luck to them.
Yes.
I just went to a little middle school game today, and I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but have you noticed that the B team always seems to be better than the A team?
They do, don't they?
Because they're like, I'm sure you put me on JV.
Right.
so they're out here. I mean, I'm seeing hits.
Right.
I'm seeing catches and throw. I'm like, how y'all play better than the A team?
Right.
Shouldn't you be on the A team? I want to come to y'all only got whooped by the y'all A team got whooped by the other A team. Like, so maybe you should put the B team out here to play that.
I think the linemen on the A team are better.
Who?
The linemen. Like the O-linemen are usually better. But the linebackers are usually better on the B team.
Yes.
But the offensive linemen on the B team sometimes get smashed. I've seen that.
Well, that's
you had that kid that
just stand there. Right. Right.
Right.
Hey man, that was my son at first. All right, now why you letting her buy you like that? Okay, that's not what you need to be doing.
You
right?
put your hands on it.
Put your hands on it. Yeah, he just never got saw one time. He did this and that about it. I like, no, that's like you let him sack your quarterback like that because you just want to let him get by. Put your hands on him, and the rougher you talk with him, because that's my only time I get a chance to really talk to him in a manner to where, and let me just be rough on your ears just a little bit. Because when you get home, You know how spoiled you are. You didn't stop that. You know,
Right.
I need to start taking that back. I need to start making you do them push-ups. And, you know,
Right.
I'm not going to punish you over something I want you to grow into.
Right.
All right, I get it. You're a little nervous about your position, or you're a little nervous about getting hit. So I'm not gonna. You don't get on no punishment because you missed a tackle at the house. You know, but no, grow into yourself though, because it's gonna be discipline at the end.
You know what my dad did one time, man? I went to St. Gerard, right? And so we was playing against Holy Cross. So we got smashed, right? So then, they said the coach said this here.
Right.
Coach Patrick said this here. He said, if your parents walk out of that stadium, you did not do your job. This man said just like this here. That man said just like this here. I said, ooh, and I seen it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man.
You walk out of the stadium.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna walk out. I'm standing there, standing here till the end.
You know what? I noticed that, like, you know, when I got to know, you need to know your parents once you grow up.
Yes.
And so then, my dad didn't like crowds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go to all these crowds, but he didn't really like crowds.
Right.
So when I got older, I asked him to go to the cowboy camp. He said, can't you go by yourself? And I said, well, you know, I thought you wanted to go. I went to that shit because he wanted to go. I didn't want to be around all the damn crowd. And I was like, okay. He said, I can watch it at home.
Right.
And he did. He went to all the crowds.
How do introverts get away with being introverts sometimes when you really want to, you know, talk with them?
Sometimes
I answer that. But you go ahead. I answer that.
this guy's an introvert.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so with him, I gotta kind of drag it out of him.
Yes. Okay.
Darnell's one of them type of people that if you don't catch him in the moment,
Yes.
it's over. You're
Right.
not gonna get much out of him. You're like, hey, Darnell, what's up? What you doing?
Yeah.
Man, I'm nothing, just chilling.
Right.
Like, so what you able to talk about the bar or something? Like, nah, man, I'm good. You know, but like how we got this show started.
Uh-huh.
He put up a post. I saw it, and I said, and we've been friends on Facebook for a long, but never interacted
Right.
in person
Right.
until this moment right there happened. He said, and I quote, when men have money, they try to get in women in the world. When women have money, they claim they don't need a man. I saw that and I instantly jumped. He said, who wants to do a podcast? I said, I want to do a podcast on that. I was like, I got a whole lot to say about it.
Right.
And this guy, he don't give me his phone number.
Uh-huh.
You know, he just called me on Facebook. He said, yeah, man, so, he's like, it's Ben? I said, yeah, it's Ben. He's like, oh, yeah, so man, I'm telling you, like, and then from there, we
right.
yeah, but this guy, I wouldn't know nothing about him. The thing, before this, I saw him one time at a missions game.
Yes.
That was it. He was by himself.
Right.
Then my life was like, oh no, man, you know, we're talking about fantasy, which I got smashed in this weekend, so I'm gonna get y'all back to whatever. I got smashed for both leagues. I got smashed. So I ain't gonna talk about that right now.
I went 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I love both.
Man.
My quarterbacks suck. Anyway, you know, I got old decrepit. Man, look, in one league I got, in the league I played with Ben, I got old ratchet ass Matt Ryan and Rosenberg. That was just like 20 years ago. But then I got but I thought this old ass still had it.
Yeah.
And in one league I got
I had Mac Jones. I put him in, but
Mac Jonesy.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, he got like 15.
Yeah.
Well, it did better than Matt Ryan. So, but no, in one league I got what's the white boy? I didn't want to say
Fitzpatrick?
No, Allen.
Oh, Josh Allen.
One Josh Allen. I got Winston. Not
James Winston?
Yeah, somebody dropped him, bro.
5 freaking
Somebody
touchdowns.
dropped him,
That's what
bro.
you're looking for, right?
And I just picked him up.
Yeah.
Cause I believe the hype that he gotta be good. Look who he around.
Yeah.
And then In one league, I got
Good too.
this is my dude. I can't. Kyler Murray, and then I had Winston. And then my thing is, I still think Watson gonna play, but I'm giving up on that. But they let you put him on. They let you put him on IR though. They let you put him on IR.
Watson's not.
I don't think he's gonna play.
Watson's not gonna play. He's gonna end up pulling like old boy did.
Yeah, you gonna be up out of them?
What's his name?
Tonyo?
Bell. He's gonna end up doing like Bell. I think Bell's better days are behind him when he's in Chicago, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
His better days are behind him, and he went to the Jets, and he's all right there. And he went to the Chiefs, which we didn't know he was over there,
Right.
and Chiefs didn't even play him. It's like, so he's like, man, I'm about to disrespect. It's like, well, bro, you kind of disrespect yourself when you left. The way you left Pittsburgh is, I mean, if we go off until I know we got to end this, but if you look at what Vince Young did, how he walked out on the Titans, and he never started again, and he's out of the league now. So,
the Cam Newton thing is bad.
No, I believe Cam right in his perspective place too, man. Right where you need to be. I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, you done played, you done did everything that you need to do within the league right now. I think the competition in the NFL right now for us quarterbacks, I think they have everything that's accurate. Unless someone is going to get injured or hurt. I always want to see first rounders come in and do their job.
Somebody got hurt.
Who?
With the Redskins. They don't have a first round.
That's Fitzpatrick, though.
Right.
Fitzpatrick got hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fitzpatrick.
But does they have
Fitzmagic game?
I mean, you Cam Newton, old coach. I would say.
Okay, then. Talking about Rivera?
Yeah.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
And when Rivera didn't sign it,
I see what you're saying.
that was sad.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah.
So
What do you think it is? Cam ain't good no more with this man? Injury prone? I mean, after that much right there, if you just bow out respectfully with, $180 million,
Man,
I retire. You've been in the league long enough.
Is he going to be a Hall of Famer now?
No.
Nah, had he ran that touchdown in to win that Super Bowl, then yeah, they probably would have put him in the Hall of Fame.
He was never the same after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no.
No, he after Super Bowl kind of deflated, and he down there die before the Super Bowl
In the car
accident. Yeah, so that kind of jacked him up too.
I used to look at Cam and be like, man, I had Cam. I picked up Cam in fantasy football. Some dude was like, why you pick him up? I said, you going to Tennessee?
Well, I think it's going to be a good season, man. Have a good football season. College in. Y'all already know what Alabama going to do. So hopefully Texas look good so I can, at least see you up over there now. See, can't even bring that up. All right, I wore the hat. Now that was going to be silent.
Man, that ain't silent. Like, you from Alabama. You outside Rose Town. Okay, cool. But as soon as you said that, look, this, and I'm about to roast another one.
Yeah.
Hudson Card.
Oh.
Sir, Hudson Card, this is for you. I already roasted Tebow. I'm gonna roast Hudson Card. I know you didn't. You say you didn't agree with Tebow. I respect that, but Tebow done. Tebow Mania is done. Hudson Card is for you. Stay your ass in Austin. Casey Thompson should have been started from the get-go. How in the hell do you play Arkansas, who is not even a rival team of ours, yet Arkansas hates us? They hate Texas for whatever reason, because they want that to be their rival team. Right. It's kind of like Judson and Roosevelt, but now it's went from Judson and Roosevelt to Judson and Steele. Right. It's the new era. So now it's a new era of rivalries where the Red River Shootout won't necessarily have as much of a clout as it would with Texas and Arkansas. Now, Arkansas went in there and whooped their asses. And Hudson Card wasn't doing nothing to make that any better. Right. How do you go to play Lafayette and you out there looking like a star? Yeah. Looking like Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, by the way, sucked it up too over the weekend. Yeah, horrible. And then you went out and got exposed for Arkansas. Now, Hudson, I like that Hudson Card. Well, you know what? Now it's going to be Casey Thompson. Yeah. Because Casey Thompson said, oh, you want to put me at second quarterback? So he basically told you, Hudson, and Sarkeesian to kiss his ass when he went in there and put up 21 points. And you couldn't get shit going.
Right.
I'm just saying, you got exposed, brother. You were exposed. Just like Tulane almost exposed, well, actually did expose OU. Fuck you, OU. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway,
why don't they just stay in the Big 12?
The only reason that okay, here's my, and this is, I know we got to end y'all. Here's my theory on why they're not saying the Big 12. The Big 12 is about to be extinct. Let's just be for real. Big 12 about to be extinct. So you got Texas. Yeah, OU. Is Oklahoma State in the Big 12? Oh, yeah. Oklahoma State.
Got Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma. Well, I said that. OU.
You didn't say Oklahoma State. I
did. I said Oklahoma State. Anyways, Oklahoma State and guys, it's some. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of basically like West teams, right? Here in Texas and
they southern us.
The southern teams. Okay, but the southern teams are
TCU.
Okay, TCU. No, TCU is TCU in the Big 12? Yeah, they're in the Big 12. But here's my point with it though. They're in a big conference, but that big conference is starting to move. All the fan bases are starting to move towards the SEC.
Yes.
And like your team, for instance, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee is not a big. Is Tennessee the Big 12? SEC. Tennessee. Y'all these bigger names are all going to the SEC. So where's the money going? To the SEC. So A&M thought they're gonna be a smart ass and like, oh, well, we're gonna leave over here. It's kind of just something thrown over here real quick. We're gonna bring our southern kind of play to a Colorado team that has no idea what we're doing.
Right.
So now Texas is saying, oh, so you want to leave our rivalry to go and try to start a new one over there? We're just gonna follow you.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna follow you right away. We're gonna follow you, and you know, and it was like, God damn it!
No.
Like, God damn it! Here they come! These motherfuckers come again.
It's like this though. Why do Ohio State don't need to go to SEC?
No.
Ohio State should stay where they're at.
They don't need to go because
they're a big enough name.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. Ain't no bigger name in Texas and Notre Dame. Because they know they money schools. No, how in the hell is Texas ranked in the first place?
Texas ain't going to be ranked after that loss.
But they rank all the time. Because they throw them in there, just like they do Notre Dame. Throw them in there.
I want to go with the money.
Notre Dame almost got to be for Florida State.
Is it not because of the recruiting class for it?
Well, did you
teams for their parts their rankings?
No. It's basically what you did last year, I believe.
Florida State just got exposed by Jacksonville State.
That's what I'm saying. But Notre Dame barely lost, but beat them.
Beat who?
Florida State.
Yes, that was a good game too. And it's a big.
So Texas need to stay in their role. Oklahoma needs to stay in their role. So what happened in Nebraska?
Did they move on?
Nobody knew about Nebraska no more. So they're in the Big 12. I think they're in the Big 10, ain't they?
Yeah, they moved from the Big 12 a while ago.
The Big 10, right?
And they moved to somewhere else, and they haven't really been. They haven't been the same since.
Okay, so
it's kind of a D2.
They need to merge. They're making the SEC be more of the brand now. You know?
Yeah, and SEC is
get out to
SEC is the brand now, and that's what Dion was trying to say. He was trying to say that he's saying that MEAC should collapse and kind of go to there to the SWAC. And MEAC was like, nah, we've been here for 50 years, like we got all these people coming out, So respectfully, no. But I see what you're saying though, because everybody's moving towards the SEC brand.
Yes.
Big 12 is like Big 12, who's in there? Yeah. That's just like saying who's in the American Conference. U of H was in the American Conference.
Okay, no. Well, see what the Big 12 means to do? They didn't get Houston.
They are having Houston.
Okay, you get no, they don't have Houston right now.
They're about to.
Well, they need to get Houston. I'll get SMU. Let me tell you why. SMU has a lot of school money. That's a private school. TCU is a private school.
Mustang.
You bring,
Yeah,
you bring
Mustang.
money.
They have the death penalty like
Nobody care about that.
yeah, but you know why they're not as big as but the reason they're not as big as a bigger name before is because they hit them with the death penalty like years ago, and they haven't been able to recover from that since.
They will recover from it. If they count.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though.
They need to be 12 teams. Or they need to ask Nebraska back because Nebraska ain't did shit.
What's it gonna bring all the revenue to that conference up? You know, because still got to be the staple on the conference itself, right?
Well, Texas is one of the staple schools, and if they leave, it's not going to be the same.
No.
Like, they're going to like, well, I want to play Texas. I don't want to play UCF, or Baylor. Like, I don't care about that. They want to play big name schools. Right. They want to go to a big name school to play big name schools so they can get their name out there. At least to have a story to tell their grandchildren if they don't make it to the league. They're like, hey, I played.
They both have Oklahoma and Nebraska play, right? We all know who's going to win that.
You gonna say Oklahoma?
Hell yeah.
What?
Okay. That's what they did in the past. And they hyped that game up like it's supposed to be one of the greatest games ever on a commercial. That's all you got to do with SMU.
SMU ain't
You
done
got
nothing.
a school that OJ went there.
Who?
OJ went there.
OJ went to SMU. He went to USC.
Who went there?
It's Trojan, wasn't bro.
OJ was a Trojan.
What went to SMU?
There was a running back or something like that went to SMU.
Who went to SMU?
I don't remember, bro.
Okay, but somebody went to SMU.
Yeah, but that was years ago before they got hit with that building.
You need 12 people. somebody gonna get their ass whooped all the time. That's just how it works.
Right.
So you need 12 people. You get Houston in there. You gotta be Southern. Moving in. Because everybody in the SEC is Southern, right?
I want to say.
Hell yeah.
It's Southeast Conference, yeah, but you got LSU. You got
LSU, Southern Potato.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, though.
Got Tennessee.
The Big 12, Missouri, yeah. Big 12 is not gonna be the Big 12 anymore without Texas and OU. They're not moving immediately.
That's our podcast.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have a podcast about that, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we got way off subject, but
okay, but this is something I want to go back to. So, what was your question about introvert?
About who?
Introvert.
Oh yeah. How do introverts get away with just being those nonchalant people who they don't have to? They can come to a party and don't have to say anything. They're like, well, that's just how Chad is, you know.
All right, how you get to be like that is you just kind of you gotta be that cool guy to certain people. And so basically, with an introvert, you know how you drink that soda? You ain't got no more. So you ain't got no more energy. You ain't got the same energy. I don't know how in the hell I do real estate. Anyway, so you got a certain amount of energy, and you're like, I don't want to fuck with people no more.
Right.
And I'm not gonna fuck with people no more. And I don't really give a damn if you how you think. So then they think you cool, but you don't give a shit. You know, if somebody say, hey, let me be your friend.
Yeah.
Then you got that motherfucker say, hey, you wanna be my friend? That nigga cool as hell. Right. So then, so basically, one guy came up to me.
That's crazy.
And this was true. I was coaching, right? This dude came up to me and said, JP, do you know any other people on the team besides the offensive line? I said, hell no.
Right.
I didn't really know nobody else's name but the offensive line. I got away with that shit.
Right.
I got away with that shit. And he was
When
like,
I bust into a room with people who know me and I don't say nothing, I can look like, okay, I'm done with people shit for the day. I don't want to say nothing. I get to a room, you better be there all over me. What's wrong with you? Why you ain't talking to me? Why you ain't acting like you? What? They holding me accountable for me want to take a break. You know what I mean? Like, why y'all holding Joe? Well, he sitting over there saying, I guess. But me, I got to talk about
and then you got to have like some asshole moment.
Yeah.
So like I was at a game one day and somebody got into it. I said, hey, you see this bird right here? That's 37.
Yeah.
Why don't you get your ass on that motherfucker and ride your ass back home? And he just looked at me. I said, yeah, I need to do that right now.
First words out your mouth.
I said, I need to do that right now.
Yeah.
And I was coaching. They were like, I said, yeah, I need him to get his ass on 37 and go home.
Was a fan?
Nah, I was coaching.
Okay.
And
a player?
Yeah.
Player.
And I said, hey, so me and him was talking.
Wow.
And I liked the dude. Me and him was talking. I said, hey, man, they got a cop around here somewhere. So I'm just get my fat ass and find a cop and tell him to do that shit. And he got on.
Right.
You gotta do shit like that.
Right.
And then they were like, I ain't gonna fuck with this nigga, you know?
True.
Yeah.
Feel like a repertoire now. I got to be kind.
I guess the next show is gonna be about
Yes.
introverts.
Yes.
And man, please come back.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your opinion on the Big 12 and all that.
Yes.
So I guess the next show y'all be looking for it. It won't be probably anytime soon. Probably be sometime in the future.
Yeah, man, we gotta talk about Big 12.
Okay, so sometime in the future we're gonna talk about the Big 12 and the SEC and and those things. I hope y'all are watching the beginning of the NFL without the new COVID protocols we got going on.
Right.
Cole Beasley. I'm talking about you too. I'm on a roasting session right now. Cole Beasley. I'm gonna need you to say I shut the fuck up. I mean, just period. Because you keep talking, you say you ain't gonna say nothing, and then your boy that got fined too. Guess what he did? He went ahead and got vaccinated because he's smart enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So either get vaccinated or be quiet.
Yep.
But anyways, y'all have a good night. Mike, I thank you for coming, man.
Yes, sir.
It was a pleasure hearing about the background it takes to have a comedy show, have us laughing the whole night.
Take a minute.
Man, JP, you want to end it?
Well, thank you for coming to the show. I'd like to thank Doug Easy for coming to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And you entertained us and educated us on the comedy game.
Thank you. Thank you. Really
And I really appreciate how you mentor
yes.
your comedians, man. And don't come out there and say, "Oh, I mentor people."
Yeah.
But I have seen a huge improvement in Eric.
Oh yeah, that's the man right there.
Yeah, he's in some type of comedy show every week.
Yeah, they come there to Houston. I'm telling you, we'll be back up there on the 23rd. So if y'all want to follow me Duck_EZ, Instagram, Facebook, Michael DeRamos, whichever one. All right, find all the listens and the bookings. We travel, do whatever needs to be done. Culture Mix Comedy. You can also look us up there. Got shows coming up this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Tequila's and Studio 55. Y'all book it.
Hey, like us, subscribe,
Yes.
and then post all your venues and everything on the comments.
Okay then.
All right, cool, man. See y'all next time, man. And UT just stay in the damn Big 12, man.
Whole time.
So they get raped by Alabama and LSU?
You know what? Hey, whatever, man.
Y'all just trying to make it to the playoffs. That's it. That's all y'all need to be concerned about.
Just stay in the Big 12, man.
Y'all have a good night.
All right.